has been welcomed by Steve the Mudman. Give a round of applause. If you don't know Steve, you probably have never been here before. Steve is really an institution here at Hidden Beach. He has, believe it or not, been coming here and has doing his work, his stewardship, his passion at the mud pit for 30 years. And I want to thank Paula and John, who's maybe filming me over here, because they did a video cast last summer featuring beaches throughout the city of Minneapolis. This was one of them. They had one of our commissioners, one of our park commissioners, Tom Olson, down here. And I watched this thing and it was unbelievable because they were talking about the lore of the Mudman. And then all of a sudden in their podcast, they stumble upon Steve. So if you go to the Wedge Live, if you Google that, Wedge Live, or if you just go to YouTube and search the Mudman, Meet the Mudman. If you search Meet the Mudman Hidden Beach, I bet you will find a little interview with Steve. So Paula suggested to me, after I kind of met them and thought what they did was pretty neat, she said, man, it would be awesome to honor Steve in some way because this year is his 30th year. So Steve, if you could come on up here. Mark Brown has a little something to provide you here.
Peace. All right.
I don't know. Mark touched it and everything went wrong. So.
All right. Yeah, we've been coming here for 8 years since we lived here, Steve. Our kids were 2 and 4 at the time, and there you were. Anybody who knows Steve knows that Steve is keeping count, right? Like you guys have heard that he counts the visits to the mud pit, and
right now, this season, coming into the lake. Right now, this season, coming into the Labor Day weekend, the season total now stands at just over 2,000.
And every one of those 2,000 is a memory, and we made some good ones with you, Steve. For those of you guys that don't know, Steve doesn't live just like right around the corner. It's a trek coming here, right? I see him walking on Franklin. There's a bus ride, so
I live over in northeast Minneapolis. The closest walk-in for me is from Hennepin and Franklin. But hopefully that'll be fixed up when they finally get the light rail extension going. That would bring me right to the 21st Street station.
All right.
yeah, and even though you're coming from a little farther away, like nobody is more of this place and more belongs here more than Steve. And I think that's what this place is all about. It's a place where everybody's welcome, everybody can come together. And you epitomize that, Steve, especially with your dedication and your generosity of spirit. And though you may count into the thousands of people coming here to get into the mud pit, there's only one Mudman, and there's only one line that we could think of for you, and that is, everybody want to say it with me? 1, 2, 3. The mud is ready!
So there is a t-shirt for Steve, and we also, Steve, wanted to do something else special for you that you can hang on your wall. And so I'm going to read this to the crowd. This is a picture that Steve let me take of him right next to the mud pit. And it says, Steve, the Mudman, celebrating 30 years of dedication and stewardship at the Hidden Beach Mud Pit. With gratitude, the beach community. And that's all of us, but that's everybody that's been here. Just really calling this place home for the last 30 years. So, Steve, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. And with that, one special